Hello everyone. Welcome again to K Podcast. So, hold on a second. Let me get this. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Now, if you guys remember, I told you guys that I'm going to be doing a video Wednesdays and Fridays. And whenever I have the time, I am going to come up here and I am going to give you, something to actually enjoy, a podcast, something to listen to. Even when you're busy, you can listen to my podcast and enjoy it. Now, with that being said, we're going to get into this particular topic of, you know, is it beneficial for women to go into 50-50 relationships? And I am definitely going to pull up some videos, even from famous YouTubers, especially ones that do content on this, especially on relationships. And I'm going to speak on this because it is something to speak on. I have my own opinion about this topic, and I feel like a lot of women that go 50-50 in relationships, it is okay for you if you feel like that is okay. But for me personally, as a woman, I cannot think, I do not think it is absolutely okay. Now, with that being said, I have multiple videos over here that I'm going to probably bring up, and I'm going to give you my opinion. Now, for the first of all, I'm going to say a woman going into a 50-50 relationship is not really 50-50 relationship. It is not actually a 50-50 relationship because I'm going to tell you this right now in the beginning of the video. Okay, let's say you go into a 50-50 relationship. Number one, you have a job. He has a job. When you come back from work, and he comes back from work, let me tell you what that man is gonna do. First of all, he's gonna go sit down, put his leg up, and start watching TV or playing video game because he thinks that his day is finished, his day is done. He has worked and he's tired and he deserves hot meal and his clothes to be cleaned and everything to be catered for him. Is that really 50-50 when we talk about that? Is it really 50-50 then? Because there's this delusion that's been going on. And I'm not going to say anything bad about the women that want to go into this, but it is a delusion. Because at the end of the day, you work as much as he is working. You go home and he expect a hot meal, which you're probably going to make. He want to sit down, relax because he's tired from work. And then you're gonna have to prepare that meal. At the end of the day, you're gonna have to make sure his clothes are looking good before he goes to work. So where's the 50-50? At the end of the day, you're both paying the same amount of money for living together. Is it really I'm not even bringing the child rearing into this particular topic. I'm not bringing child rearing into it yet. So you can already see the imbalance even without a child. So is it really beneficiary for women? Now I'm gonna bring up this video over here, and we're gonna talk about this because I saw many YouTubers stitching this video, but I'm gonna just give my opinion on each of the videos and give my own, say what I think in my mind. Now let me just get this video up over here.
I don't want to say dumbest, but I think it's one of the most irrelevant. I do not care if a man is currently employed. To me, that is one of the, I don't want to say dumbest, but I think it's one of the most irrelevant factors. Unless you have bills that you need paid by that man, it does not matter whether he is.
What if he doesn't have the money to pay for the bills? Unless you have bills to be paid by that man. I'm going to say this. The women that think like this, good for you. But the delusion, no, I cannot stand for the delusion. This is why some men are actually out here calling women masculine. And I'm just going to say it. See, it might be hurtful to some women to hear, but there is nothing more important that for a man to get a job and provide for his family and feel better about himself than somebody coming up here and talking about it doesn't matter. Okay.
Actively employed. It's people using things that can easily change about a person in the span of a week as a determinant of, are you worthy to date? You can get a job.
Interesting. That's like the number one thing I would look for in terms of career. But I feel like that's because I have a career.
You have a career.
So wait, she's going out and looking for men that don't have a career, or when she finds a profile without any career, she said, "Oh yeah, that's the man." Wow, it is insane out here. I never knew how insane it was getting, but it is absolutely out of hand.
I want a man with a career.
I want a man with a
But in
career.
this current moment, when I swipe on you, do you have a job? Did not matter.
There's a difference though between
It did not matter. Do you have a job? It did not matter. How does it not matter? Like, I understand if you want to have your own job and have your reputation and have all of that, but saying that, I don't understand. What are we trying to teach girls? Because let's get real. I'm about to get into my feelings. Let's get real. What are you trying to teach girls? Yeah, go walk, go do that, and if he doesn't have a job, it's okay. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, if he doesn't have a job, he's gonna absolutely despise you, because he's gonna be seeing how good you're doing, and there's gonna be that jealousy that is gonna come in there, and nobody want to talk about that.
like being unemployed, being in between jobs and just, I don't work.
No.
No. That's different. We're not going to do that.
Excellent point. So, what is marriage?
When I swipe on you, do you have a job? Did not matter.
There's a difference though between like being unemployed, being in between jobs and just, I don't work.
No.
No. That's different. We're not going to do that.
Excellent point. So, what is marriage, you ask? Well, marriage is a labor contract for women. Because we live within a patriarchal society, from the time we are born, we are encouraged to marry. We are told that our value as women lies in our connection to men. Because cis-hetero marriage deems the man the head of the household, he gets to exploit his wife. He gets hot meals, a clean home, clean laundry, labor. He's able to move up in the workplace because he's not the one taking care of the kids in the home. And he also gets societal benefit being a father. The marriage contract
Hold
is
on,
a
I think
work
something is wrong over here. The video is, let me play it a little bit backward. Let me go back a
laundry,
bit so that you can hear
labor.
it.
He's able to move up in the workplace because he's not the one taking care of the kids in the home. And he also gets the societal benefit of being a father. The marriage contract is a work contract for women that allows and enables men to exploit them.
I deserve to have a
Yeah, before we get to the passport bros, because to be sincere, I just attached this because she made some sense. That's why I attached this particular video over here. If you ladies actually listen to what that young lady was talking about, and if you see the book that she brought out, it is a construct. It is a means of making women labor without getting the benefit out of it. That is marriage, by the way. We are not even going about 50-50. We are not even talking about 50-50. We are talking about just marriage. That what she was talking about was not about 50-50. It was just about marriage. That book that she brought right up had nothing to do with 50-50, just marriage. So you can see already the labor that women have to put in marriages. Then when you talk about all the of that label, you look at everything, and then you bring up the 50-50 scenario topic up. It is like, hey, you're being cheated out, but I want to make sure you don't get anything out of this. That's why a lot of women are getting divorced. When I hear people crying about women getting divorced, I'm like, no, this is why. Because when a woman, let me tell you something, when a woman looks at you, she's bringing the money back home, she's working the same time as you. She's going to work, she's working. And then at the end of the day, she comes home. She has to prepare a hot meal for you. Make sure that your clothes are washed, because as we know from my last video, some men think it's not in their genetics to operate the washing machine. Some men think it's not in their genetics to operate a common washing machine. So I'm starting to think, what is not in men's genetic more? Cooking, cleaning, caring for the kids, and all of that. So the 50-50 scenario is she goes to work, you go to work, you come back, you expect her to cook, clean, and also iron and wash your clothes. How is it 50-50? What is she getting out of that relationship? That is why a lot of women, if you look at the divorce rate, you understand, and then you look at society and look at marriages, you understand why a lot of women are getting divorced. Because one, she doesn't even need you to be there in the first place. She doesn't. She will be looking at you like, I could do this for myself, apart from you paying half of the bills. I can pay the bills for myself. And if that woman has children, if the woman has children, at the end of the day, she comes home, you put in your legs up, watching TV or playing, whatever game you're playing. She has to go to the kitchen. At the end of the day, she comes back from work. You came back from work as a man. She has to go to the kitchen. She has to cook. She has to clean. She has to wash your clothes and the kids' clothes. At the end of the day, she will see you as another child. She will see the man as another burden to be carried. Because at the end of the day, she could even think, I'm doing it by myself. I have to pay half. You have to pay. What is the difference? I could actually just leave you and just disappear and just take care of my kids. I don't want you here being an extra burden to my life. I don't want you to be an extra burden to my life. Your 50-50 is not covering anything. I'm actually doing more. I'm doing more than 50. I'm doing 90. You're paying for your house rent and where you live. You are not doing 50-50 anything. The end of the day, if we have to divide the house rent, you are paying for yourself. You're not paying for me. You're not paying for the household. If we go 50-50, so I'm like, every time I see a woman say, I'm going 50-50, I'm saying good. I normally say good for you. You know what? I hope it works out for you. I'm not a hater. But the one line that I always draw is women that go 50-50 coming out and talking about 50-50 scenario and trying to convince women to go 50-50. See, there is one thing that I will not do is actually come out here and tell women to go 50-50. I'm sorry, I'm not that woman. I'm absolutely not that woman. I will never ever tell a woman to go 50-50, and that's the kind of person I am. Because I know it's never going to be 50-50. It will never be 50-50. So let's continue, because this is about passport bros. But listen to what this lady had to say.
traditional wife. They want to be a passport bro. And I'm like, bro, you're fat, you're broke, you don't deserve a traditional wife. You need to level up. The same way they want a traditional girl. The girl, she's going to be way more traditional back in my country. So trust me, she's not marrying you for love. She's marrying you for your green card. So
are you against passport bros or?
I understand the fundamentals of it for those who have done everything in life to make sure they are a man. But if you're not a man, I don't think you deserve that, honestly. If you don't have your life together, what makes you think you know how to appreciate a traditional wife? If some other guy who's living here who's never had an idea of what a male figure is in his life, he's going based off of whatever little content he picks from the internet. He's saying, well, I want a traditional wife. But therefore, he doesn't even have like a credit score. He doesn't even have like his life in check. He's still driving the hoopty from high school. But you want a traditional girl. Like what happens when you bring that girl over here? You're going to basically make her a Western woman and she's going to realize like this guy really doesn't have his shit together. Now she's going to cheat on you.
Okay, before we get into this lady's other lady, because she's gonna even she's not going 50-50, she's going 100. When she comes, I'm gonna let her talk because I want you guys to listen to what she had to say. But from the previous video, I'm like, you're going to whatever you want to call it, a third world country or whatever, and you bring a woman. At first, you know, there are some men, they're gonna go over there, they're gonna show the women love, and they're gonna pay for many of the things. But once they bring them to the first world country, they're gonna be like, you know what, you should work so that we can provide together for this household. What, you went to a third world country to bring a workhorse? Because I've seen this. As an African woman, I'm not gonna even lie to you. I'm not. Because I'm gonna share what I have seen and why some women would come even from third world country. It doesn't matter if it's Africa, Asia, wherever it is, that will come here and then they would divorce. They would be like, no, I am divorcing you. And I do not blame those women. And I see a lot of people crying on the internet. I brought my wife from this particular place and all of a sudden she divorced me. Can we talk about it? Either you're abusive or you are that 50-50 bro. So why wouldn't she leave you? Why? Because if she has to come to the Western world and then wherever you live, and then she decides to start working and paying for the house rent, paying for the house bill, she's not, the way many women in other countries are raised is not the same. They're going to disrespect you. They're going to absolutely disvalue you as a man because they would not even see you as a man anymore. Now, let's get into this lady. She got a lot of tea to give today about her situation. So let's get into it.
I'm home after a 13-hour shift, and this is what my kitchen looks like. And my unemployed husband, where we have one child who's at school from 9 until 5, just decided to drink 8 beers, just chilling at home by himself. I am tough. Side note, these dishes, they've been in there for 2 days.
You never see.
Okay, before we get to Mrs. Sprinkle, because I do like what she talk about most of the time, I'm gonna say this. So that lady, she's doing 100. She came back home. Let's not forget, it's not even in the 50. That one is out of 50-50 at this point. So she came back home from work as a nurse, and her husband still thinks it's okay for him to sit down, relax, drink, and expect her to come home from work and actually clean the dishes and do the rest of the house chores. I always hear the terms modern women, but I'm going to say this. We live in a time of modern men. Modern men who want women to do all and everything so that they can sit down like princesses. They want to be princesses. They don't want to work or do anything or provide nothing at all. They want to be apps. Even princesses work. It's It's a disrespect to princesses to even bring princesses into this. They want to be babies. So we're gonna go back to this video. Let me continue this.
A man sitting there trying to change a woman. He just go get another one.
Okay, my brain is going a little crazy with this idea.
Let me go back a bit. Let me go back a bit.
Days.
You never see a man sitting there trying to change a woman. He just go get another one.
Yeah.
Okay, my brain is going a little crazy with this idea. Is there a parallel between women trying to change men, but men just dropping women as they see fit and getting a new one because it's easier?
Yeah.
And the workforce, where employees are trying to make it work because they need the money, and employers being like, I'm just going to fire you and get a new person.
True.
But you need to give 2 weeks notice.
Okay, before she says anything, I'm gonna say this. Yes, there is, because men do not want to put the work into a woman that they have actually had, because they're like, okay, she was like this the time I met her. I'm not gonna even put any energy into, changing her to be the classy woman that I want her to be the kind of woman that I dream of. So what I'm gonna do is leave her and go get me the classy woman that I always wanted. Yeah. So I'm gonna let her explain something about this video. So
Yes, there is a correlation, and it's really good that that second creator is comparing patriarchy to capitalism, because both of these are systems created to disenfranchise one group over another and then exploit that lack of power. We use the term Pygmy a lot on social media, and Pygmy just means a male identified woman. But what is a male identified woman but a woman who feels probably more acutely than any other woman the lack of power that comes with being a woman? The Pygmy is a Pygmy because rather than trying to fight for her equity or to overturn systems of disenfranchisement or asserting her own personal power in her interpersonal relationships, she would rather align herself with those who do have the power, the man. She doesn't want to reclaim or fight for her power. She just wants to align herself with those who currently have the power right now. This is also the reason why so many women, not even trying to change a man, will just put up with the worst type of man in order to make the relationship work and say that they have a partner. This is why the onus of making relationships work lies almost entirely on women's shoulders. We do not tell men to put up with disrespect, disregard of their feelings, and disloyalty, but we tell women to do it all the time. And there are plenty of women who tell themselves that their husband's affairs are okay because I have his ring and he knows where home is. There are plenty of women telling themselves that doing 100% of the housework is okay because he works 40 hours a week and that's enough, and he needs time to decompress. There are plenty of women convincing themselves that the hurtful communication styles of their husbands and their boyfriends and the jokes that they tell aren't hurtful. They're just a sense of humor, and she's being too sensitive. There are women telling themselves that it's okay that they are completely overwhelmed with raising 3, 4, or 5 children when they only wanted one because their husband, who hasn't so much as changed a diaper in his life, wanted a big family. And in these relationships where they're playing pick me to a man who couldn't be bothered, who actively behaves as if or might actually have plenty of other options, that by remaining with him, she is closer to power, these women are actually more disenfranchised than they were previously. There's a reason why single women are the happiest demographic of women. There's also a reason why within relationships of the heterosexual variety, the selfish woman, the demanding woman, the uncompromising woman is the most fulfilled woman and has the most successful relationships. Compromising your standards, your values, your goals, or trying to change the other person is actively participating in your own exploitation.
You got to be serious.
oh no, this last one, this one over here, this one I got. I'm gonna say I have another Uh, when I watched this video over here, the last one here, yeah, I think my insights were literally not happy because this one, before I play it and say what I have to say, God, please help me control my tongue that I do not go out of range. Now, with what the other lady said, she actually made absolute sense. She made absolute sense because at the end of the day, it's women that are gonna be doing it. It is women. It's always been laid on women. So imagine, as a woman, you've been raised to do all of this work. And then you grow up, and then men change and say, "Oh, I'm not going to be providing anymore. You know what? I'm not going to be doing that anymore." I had a TikToker that was, so I don't know if I don't think I attached her video over here because I would have seen it already. She was talking about a guy that found out that his girlfriend had around 180 something thousand US dollars in her account, and he stopped supporting her. He stopped, like literally stopped everything. He was like, "Oh, but you have the money, you can pay." And a lot of people were like, "Oh, but okay, what is the situation?" She said that he didn't know. This was from Reddit, by the way. He didn't know that she had that much money, but when he found out, when he actually checked the bank account, that she had that much money, he changed. He wasn't so, nice when it comes to paying for anything. He always looked at her like, "You have the money." And I'm like, when I look at that, I'm like, what kind of men are people raising nowadays? Because this is why when I see a man on TikTok or any other podcast talking about "I'm single," I'm like, well, I don't need to do any dilation or think about or try to figure out why you're single. I already know why you're single. I already know. You don't want to do your duty as a man. You don't want to do anything. Now, this particular video over here, I think we all know who we are seeing in the cover. They got married. I even talked about their marriage, I think, last year. And they are expecting, a baby. And this guy decided he want to cry about two lesbians, having a child. And he said, "Oh my God, I'm about to get absolutely mad." But he said, this is the narrative that they're pushing right now. I'm like, hold on a second. Black women have been having children alone. Now they found a partner in other women. So she found another Black woman to be married to and raise her child. Now you are hating too. They can't marry white men. They can't be single mothers. They can't be lesbians. Dude, get some help. Like, see, like, if I would be from America, if I would be from the US, I'm just gonna say it, I would probably be lesbian. No offense. I would probably be lesbian because I would not be able, God, I would not be able to stand it. I wouldn't be able to stand it. You don't raise your kids. You leave women with single mothers. You literally degrade the women that stayed and take care of their children. You talk about a narrative that is being pushed when they find each other as partners because they can understand each other. I'm like, okay. So they have to get you then. So let me just play this video then.
What in the I don't need a man is this?
How dare a lesbian have a child with her wife? Being a Black woman is so exhausting because first you can't be a single mother, or you can't be a woman who doesn't want kids, or you can't be happily single, or you can't be gay, or you can't be married to a man who's not Black. Like you can't do anything. You can't have a job. You can't also not have a job. Like How do y'all need therapy? Like, you're mentally ill, you need psychological help. But I know the last person who said that y'all doxed her and made her lose her job and then, like, stopped her from working. When did a child having two loving parents be a bad thing? Like, y'all are mentally ill.
Yeah, she said what she said, and I absolutely agree with her. What, you want her to raise the child alone? You want her to raise the child alone? She found somebody that could raise the child without. At this point, I'm not even surprised if many of these women are becoming lesbians. Because, hey, excuse me. You ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing. Women are out here with 5, 6 kids and being shit on for staying. They're having 5, 6 kids. They're staying at home. Their papa, their dad, there is no way, they are no way to be found. The community still shit on them. Say that they didn't pick the right person. Wait, they didn't pick the right person the first child. They didn't pick the right person the second child. They didn't pick the right person the third child. Shitted on them. And then when some women learn a lesson from that and be like, okay, I'm going to choose better. I am absolutely gonna, go look for somebody outside that doesn't look like me. Oh my God, here we go. There goes the derogatory names that they're gonna be calling these women. They're gonna be calling these women all kind of names. Oh, if you go out and you don't marry somebody that look like you, oh my God, you have committed the worst sin since the Moors. Since the Moors. Yes, I'm talking about the Moors from Africa. You've committed the worst sin. And the Moors were great though, because they made, Afrocentric women wash the women they wanted to lay with. They made them wash them. Like the insult is, as a woman, I'm going to say this. Woo! Sometimes you just look at these people and I'm going to say, sometimes you look at them and you just, sometimes you just have to laugh and just keep it moving with your life. You don't have to listen. I'm just going to say this to every woman out there. Do what is beneficial for you. If you think it's okay for you, do it. Do not let anybody push any kind of agenda onto you. If you want to go and be a lesbian, go be a lesbian. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pushing agenda. No, you are not even in the home when she's raising them kids. You can miss me with this. Jesus. And if you want to be a woman that does not want a 50-50 relationship, I will back you up. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be doing more than that 50-50 that they're talking about. You're going to be doing the child raising, the home caring. And if you have a job, you're going to go to work and come back and cook a hot meal for your kids and the man in the house. And then clean and do every other thing in that household. I don't understand why women are not mad. I really don't understand why women are not mad. At this point. Yeah, girl, Sunflower, thank you for saying that. Yeah, press the like button, people. Please press the like button. Normally, I did tell you guys I'm going to be doing videos from, is it Wednesdays, Fridays? But this one, if you see me up here, yeah, I'm probably in my feelings and I want to talk about something. Now, with that being said, please let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do not forget to press that like button and subscribe. I think we're already in almost 35 minutes in. Now, thank you all for being here. Please press the like button, subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one. Have a blessed day and goodbye.